All right. 3, 2, 1.
Pick me up.
Wait, what episode are we on?
24?
24, the Kobe episode. You're the
Kobe
Kobe
episode.
episode.
Dang.
Okay. 3. What is up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Word on the Street podcast. We're here today with a very, very, very special guest. You may know him as Shoe Jesus,
Okay.
you know, Kita's owner.
Okay.
You may know him as whenever you need a shoe, he's going to get it for you. You already know we're here with our boy Keegan from Another Shoe Page. You know, round of applause for our boy. Yeah, the live audience that is here, please give them a round of applause, everybody. Yeah, thanks for fucking being on the episode today.
Thanks for having me, homies.
Yeah, dude.
It's kind of crazy. It's
For
just
real.
on the phone. It's
Yeah.
not a crazy setup.
Yeah,
but,
thanks for coming through.
Yeah.
It's sick, bro. It's cool to be here. See the behind the scenes now.
Hey, man,
Yes,
thank
sir.
you. Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
it's sick. We're glad to have you, bro. I know it's going to be fun. We have a lot of stuff to talk about from our Seattle trip that we've been holding off to talk
Yeah.
about for months now. People don't even care about our Seattle trip anymore.
I was like, I'm gonna release this reel once we have the boys on and we talk about Seattle, and they just like kept the domain.
Hey, but it's okay because he's been busy, all
Yeah,
right?
been
He's
killing
been
it.
going to SneakerCon after SneakerCon, after Got Soul, everything. So I'm glad to have him here. He can give us a little behind the scenes on the resale market,
Yeah.
how he thinks it's going, you know. It'll be fun. It'll be a good time. We talk a lot about resale, and I feel like people don't really, like, understand why, but that's what we have you here for, so you can explain to them. You know what I mean? Like, what's
All right.
going on.
That's what's up.
So if you want to just tell us a little bit about yourself, like where did you grow up? How did you get into like sneakers, stuff like that, you know?
Sounds good. Yeah. Born and raised Salt Lake City. Been here my
Sick.
whole life, pretty much. I've been into shoes since I was like really young. Like just from skateboarding, I feel like I would just like started collecting like random like DCs and Osiris and
Right.
S like back in the day. Kind of got into dunks and like
Okay.
the P rods and stuff, and then just kind of like evolved into the Jordans once I
Okay.
had some money.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like when I was like 16, probably. I got my first pair of J's,
What
The
was your
mili-
first pair?
the military blue fours.
Oh, sick. So now they're coming out. You're probably
Yeah,
like,
that's like the shoes that started it all for me,
Oh,
for sure.
dope.
I was like-
how much did you pay for your first pair?
So I got super lucky. One of my good homies had like a plug at Foot Locker, and so he got it on a friends and family discount, and then he ended up not really liking them,
Mhm.
so I traded him like a diamond crew neck that I bought from Zoomies, and I worked there, so I got a discount on the crew neck. So like
Oh,
I got
damn.
like for like dirt cheap. pretty much.
$50.
Yeah, exactly.
That's sick, bro. Hell yeah. So that also starts off like the trading. Like, how can I, you know, like, what can I trade to get the shoes I want, you know? So I guess that, like you said, that started the whole love to, like, you know, get the whole
Yeah,
shoe.
it was crazy. So now that I think back on it, like I got like my grail for like $50, you know.
That's
wild.
insane. Yeah, that's a crazy story for real. So you did bring up skateboarding a little bit. How long did you skateboard for? Like, were you ever, like, super good or, like...
So I started skating like really young. I got like a Scooby Doo board when I was like 3 years old or some shit.
Shout out
for Christmas.
Scooby-Doo. Come on
sir.
the pod, Scooby-Doo.
You already
bro.
know.
Bro.
Yeah, I just remember like mobbing around the neighborhood, just like I wasn't doing any tricks. I was just like firecracker down like my neighbor's steps and just like cruise around everywhere, just in like our little cul-de-sac that we lived in. And then, yeah, I mean, I skated pretty heavily like once I got into like fourth or fifth grade. That's like when I like started like learning tricks and actually skating all the time.
Dope. Hell yeah, bro.
And then yeah, I still try to skate until now, like every once in a while.
Did you
We've
ever
been
win any
staying
comps
busy.
or anything?
I've been in a couple comps. I've took first place in a few.
Oh, sick.
Fire.
Heck
Yeah.
yeah. What was like your most memorable like first place you could remember?
I went out of town to the Skate George contest, and it was just cool, like being like somewhere I didn't know anybody.
Yeah.
So it was like I feel like they kind of like had favorites and stuff, and I was able to like come and place and
Oh, that's
That's
sick.
sick. Yeah.
get some free shit. We
Yeah.
were just there for like a vacation, so I didn't even know like
Oh, fire.
that the competition was there. I just saw the flyers while I was out there. I was like, sick. I'll just try it, see how it goes.
Oh, that's dope.
Mm.
Heck yeah. You had your board on you and everything?
Yeah.
Oh, sick.
Because would go out there and like try to skate. My girl skates too, so
Oh, dope.
we were just like we would hit street spots and like go to the skate park. And then we went to the skate park and saw the flyers. We're like, fuck, I'll just
You're skating there, huh?
see if I mean go to the competition and see what's up.
What did you place that day?
I think it was second place for that one.
Oh, wow. That's really
Yeah.
good, bro. Wow. Sick. What's your favorite trick to do on a skateboard? Like,
That's a hard one. There's so many. I'll probably say dolphin flip.
okay, sick.
I just remember like I saw Mike Moe do that trick when I was like really young. I was like, what the hell was that? And I was like, I'm gonna try it. And I went and like tried it, and I was like, it was so weird and so hard. And I was like, I'm gonna get this trick. And I remember I was just like skating in front of my house for like a week straight, and I was only trying that trick.
Oh,
I
damn.
was like trying. I was like, eventually I'm gonna land this shit. And still remember like landing that trick. And now that's like a trick that I wouldn't say I have it down, but it's like a couple tries I'll land it.
Yeah.
Oh, sick.
Hell yeah,
So-
bro. That's like, yeah, the way that dolphin flip, like, flip
It's
forward.
just like
is so
super
weird.
crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like every time someone sees it, like, what the hell is that? It's like the same reaction I had when I saw it when I was a kid. I was like, what was that?
That's a crazy one for real, bro. So that was when you were younger, right? Then you said you got into sneakers around the time you were working at Zoomies. What Zoomies location did you work at? And like, how did you get hired onto that? Because I also worked at Zoomies, so that's cool to like, you know.
Yeah, I know, it's sick. All the homies. I feel like I know so many people that it's because of Zoomies, or even if we didn't work together, we just like have similar interests, and then we're like, oh damn, you work at Zoomies too?
Yeah, I feel like the Zoomies person, I know it's a lot of memes, but it's like really like we're all so similar and like-minded, you
Yeah,
know?
no,
Like,
for sure. It is cool. I started at Zoomies when I was like 16, like right when I started pretty much. I went in to get a skateboard on my 16th birthday, and my dad was like, he needs a job. But I had already been going in there, so like one of the managers, like the assistant manager told like the new manager, like, yeah, he's in here all the time. And the dude, it's funny actually, I'll start this even better. So I went in a week before my birthday without my dad, and I was like, you guys hiring? And I went up to the assistant manager, and she was like, oh, you're about to turn 16, and was like kind of hyped, and she like pointed at the new store manager, and I was like looking at him, he's like this bald, like kind of intimidating dude. I'm like, what the heck? Like, it used to be somebody else. And so I walk up to homie and I was like, are you guys hiring? He's like, no. Just like kind of sent me on my way. I'm like, damn, okay. So a week later comes, it's my birthday. I'm actually 16 now. I was just like trying to get a head start because I wanted to get a job somewhere.
That's sick. Hell yeah.
And then my dad said that, and after she was like, yeah, he comes in all the time. He was like, oh yeah, you came in and asked last week, huh? I was like, yeah. He's like, okay, well if you apply today, I'll get you an interview. So I went, interviewed, or I went and applied, and then it was like a couple weeks later, I had gotten in some trouble with the law, and I remember like a random phone number called me, and I answered, and I like, was like, who's this? Like kind of had attitude, and it was the dude that was trying to interview me. So I was like, my bad, sorry, I didn't recognize the number or whatever. He's like, yeah, I was just calling to see if you can come in for an interview. And I was staying at my grandparents' house, which was super close to Fashion Place Mall.
Mhm.
So I was like, yeah, I'll be there. I'm just going to get ready and I'll head over. And so I literally like hopped in the shower, skated over, and I was there in like 40 minutes. And he was like, damn, you're already here? And he pretty much was like, yeah, this isn't going to be a normal interview. You pretty much already have the job. We're just going to go over some questions. And he just like asked me some stuff. And yeah, I ended up working there for like 3 years until I got transferred to Valley Fair. And I was at Valley Fair for like 6 years.
Jeez, that's a long time.
And then I got promoted over to City Creek. And I was there for the remainder of my career with Zoomies.
Were you still reselling, like, well, when you were working at Zoomies, or strictly only Zoomies?
So I'd say the last like year I was there, I was reselling.
Mhm.
And it started to become like a conflict almost. Like they didn't want me to be selling shoes at work kind of thing.
So
like,
people would come to Zoomies to pick them up.
yeah. Yeah.
I was like, Zoomies doesn't have Jordans, you know? So
Well, I feel like they were saying it was like conflict of interest, but these people that wouldn't normally come to Zoomies were coming into Zoomies and buying a pair of shoes from me, and then they're
Maybe getting
also
some pants or
buying some
something.
stuff from Zoomies. So
Yeah.
it was like I was still trying to hit my goals and everything there, but
Your UPTs
I
and
also
BPTs and
I also had to like make a living for myself, you know, like Zoomies doesn't pay the greatest, you
Mhm.
know. I was working, 50, 60 hours a week and struggling to pay my bills, so I'm like, I have to, do something else,
Yeah.
and that's kind of where like the reselling kind of came about. My girl and I were like, she wanted to do like thrifting and stuff, so she was talking about doing that. I was like, I already have a bunch of shoes, like maybe I should start selling some of my personals. So like I kind of started posting like some of my old pairs that I hadn't worn that I knew were like too small for me now, or that I wasn't gonna wear, like, pairs that I've had for like 8 years that I still haven't worn. I'm like, I'll just sell these and see what happens. And I was like looking at the market, I'm like, dang, I paid like $200 for these. They're going for like $400 now. I'm like, this is sick.
Yeah.
Like, there's some money to be made here, you know. And so I started like looking at certain drops and like trying for stuff. And some pairs I make like $7 on, but I would be like hyped because I'm like, I'm making $20 an hour. If I could sell X amount of pairs in a week, I could replace my job like fairly quick. So like I just started really like diving into it, just because like I just saw the potential. And I was like, this is sick. Like I could work for myself. That's something I've always wanted to do. I've kind of helped like some of my other friends like build brands and stuff, and like saw that side of things. I'm like, dang, this is cool. My grandma is an entrepreneur. Like she has a cleaning business. She is the one and only employee though. So like, she like works in her business,
Mhm. She
So, like,
runs it and works it.
that's it. Like she's the one and only one doing everything.
Damn.
So like I kind of saw that side of things, I just wanted to be able to do something like that for myself, and I just saw that outlet. I was like, okay, this is cool. I enjoy shoes. I've liked shoes since I was in elementary school. I started collecting random shoes. I always try to match my shoes to like my outfit and stuff, just even when I was really young. So I was like, all right, this is it for sure.
Oh yeah.
And I was just kind of like messing around. I didn't even have like an Instagram or anything. I would just like post stuff on my personal page, and I'd start selling stuff. And I remember this dude came in to Zoomies one day, and he's like, hey, can you go to Foot Locker and buy me these shoes? I'll give you $15. I was like, what the hell? So I go in there, buy the shoes for him, and I'm like thinking, like, this dude's paying me $15. How is he still making money on these? And it's like a pair of mids, where when I was collecting shoes back in like when I first started, like you get clowned on for wearing mids. I was like, there's no way mids are reselling. But homie came in and paid me and had me grab 3 pairs of shoes. So I went in, bought those, came in, and I went and asked one of my employees. I gave him my card. I was like, you go buy 3 of these pairs for me? And they went in, bought 3 pairs, and I posted them, and I'd made $50 on one of them that same day. So I was like, okay, like this is it. This is it.
Yeah.
Like,
was this 2020?
This is probably 2021, 2020, maybe 20, like the end of 2020. Yeah.
Because that's when stuff was reselling the most, right?
Yeah, for sure. The market was crazy. COVID,
everybody.
That era was, it was nuts. Like pretty much any Jordan or Dunk that you bought, like you make $50, $100 off of it, like, no matter what. You could sell it to like another reseller or to like a shop.
Yeah. So I say this a lot because I used to resell back in 2016 when there was no, StockX. There was only eBay, bro. You're hopping on Grailed. You're hopping on all that stuff. Like there was no StockX back then. I think Grailed was like the newest platform back in the day.
Yeah, for sure.
So back in the day, it was harder to sell stuff. But I tell Google this now. I'm like, I think reselling now is easy. Like you said, you get a sneaker, you can resell it to another reseller or a store. And whatever. What is your opinion on that as a reseller in the game? Like,
I feel like the game's just like always evolving. Like right now, I feel like the market's like kind of coming back, but you just got to get creative with like what you're buying and how to make your margins. Because like there was like some article that just released, and they said 95% of drops last year weren't profitable. So like if you paid retail on a drop, you lost money 95% of the time. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I feel like that eliminated a lot of people that are trying to do this if they don't like adjust. Yeah. Like, I don't know. The game's crazy. It's like once you have it figured out, it'll change again. So like you got to just like consistently just like see what the trend is and kind of adjust to it.
Yeah.
Like I was talking to Gooba on the way here, and he was like, do you have like mostly brand new shoes or mostly used shoes.
Yeah.
And like when I first started, I only had brand new shoes, and then like my old personals that I was selling, but I wasn't buying used pairs from people. I was just like only brand new. And then I started to see the margins in used, and especially like the way the markets are now. Like I said, you can't buy something at retail and make money 95% of the time. So it's better to buy a used pair of shoes, clean it up, and the margins are just much better. And me personally, I'd rather buy a used pair of shoes. I know some people are like weird about like wearing a shoe someone else wore or whatever, but I'm way quicker to wear a shoe if I bought it already used. Where if I buy a brand new shoe, like sometimes it takes me for a while before I wear it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. If I buy a used shoe, I'm just gonna wear it the next day maybe.
Yeah.
If I buy a brand new shoe, it's gonna sit for a few months.
Yep.
I like to wear shoes years after they came out because, like, let's say the Noir, Off Noir came out this year. Everyone's gonna be wearing it, right?
Yep.
But it came out 4 years ago. That's why I'm wearing mine now because not a lot of people have it.
Yep. Feel that.
Yeah, that's the way I like to wear my shoes. I'm weird like that. I will not wear a brand new release. Like even the year it came out, I'll wait till.
I get that.
Yeah.
I'd say like 75% of my collection is like old stuff because that's when I got into shoes. So like when I first got into shoes, I just went crazy. Like I didn't really have any bills. Like I was just like every week just getting whatever came out.
Yeah.
Just stacked up. Like from like 2014 to like 2017, I bought so many. Just pretty much every Jordan drop, pretty much. It's just
even the ones that weren't profitable.
Yeah, exactly.
I
wasn't
all 95.
At that point. I wasn't trying to make money. Like I remember there was a few pairs that I was like, oh, I hit 3 pairs of these. I'm gonna try to sell them, and then like I would end up wearing them, or like I just didn't end up selling them. Like some of those pairs I held until I like got into the game, and those are some of the ones that I like made money on because I had like 3 of the same pair. I only wore one of them. And
Have you ever held a shoe but lost money?
yeah, for sure. Definitely.
That's a horrible feeling. 'Cause everybody thinks that you buy a pair of shoes
It's gonna instantly go up.
and you're gonna hold it for a year, and then a year later it's gonna be.
Yeah.
But nobody really realizes that you buy a pair of shoes, and most of the time it does not instantly go up.
Go down to $80.
Yeah, especially the way the market's been the last few years. Like it's been bad. There's a few pairs where I'm like, yeah, they're like right under retail. They have to go over retail. Then like I just look at some of those pairs like the last few weeks, and it's like $100 under retail. I'm like, dang.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, nowadays I feel like I was talking to this with my homie the other day. I was like, "What's the last shoe that's come out that has actually resold immediately?" And then he said that Trophy Room Jordan 1 Low. And I was like, "Okay, other than that, because nobody even really got those. What's the last shoe that's come out?" And he's like, "I don't know." And I'm like, "Exactly, bro. Like people only want the Travis Scotts. They only want the Jordan Ring, and that's it. Like
Yeah, I feel like those Bread 4s did really well, and like even though the market's still like retail and even like grade school's under retail, like people
That's
are
what I'm saying. You can't say really well in the markets at retail.
but people are paying higher. Like I know a lot of people that made a lot of money on that shoe.
Okay, well that's I don't know. I haven't, dude. I don't know the last Jordan release or really any release that came out that I was like hyped on. Like, when I realized that the market.
Yeah, they haven't been doing. I feel like everything they release, they're trying to like change it in a way where they should just like release some of the OG stuff.
I was about to ask, how do you feel on like when they reimagine the shoes and drop them again, like the OG and do a redrop?
I mean, it's cool. I would just like with the White Cement 3, I would have just rather had a White Cement 3. Like it's cool, but I would have just rather had a White Cement 3.
Okay.
I'll age it myself or getting older.
Yeah.
I'll have it long enough that it ages. I don't know. The like Bread 4, the leather at first, I was like, ooh, I don't know how I feel about that.
It's like a pleather, isn't it? Or...
Yeah, I mean, it's
creases like hell, right?
Yeah, for sure. But I think it looks good, honestly.
Okay.
I already have the Nubuck pair, so I'm like, it's almost like a whole different shoe. I feel like if I had to pick one or the other, I'd definitely go with the OG pair. But I do like the shape on it. They did the really like the updated shape, which is like more like the OG shape.
Oh, okay.
I feel like that really helped with the shoe, honestly. Just especially like the older heads are like, yeah, that shape is so nice on it.
So that's like a reimagine too. They don't just reimagine the materials or like even the shape of the tongue or however.
Depends on the pair, but yeah, because like, it's weird. Like I've heard people starting to say like the patent bread is like the reimagined, and the Lost and Found is obviously reimagined. That one has like the cracking and
Yeah.
everything. But I didn't even think about the patent bread being reimagined.
I think reimagine is just a marketing term.
Yeah.
No, for
You know,
sure.
like it's reimagine.
Yeah, exactly.
Make the box look a little dusty, and then we'll call it
Yeah.
a day. You know?
And that royal one, like they should have just done a leather.
I don't even know what the hell that reimagined was. They just put suede on it and they call
Yeah,
it a day.
it's just like all suede.
Was
Like
not
I see a
it.
lot of people wearing it. It's a good looking pair. It's cool, but like I think everyone would have just rather had a
It looks like a
leather
mid to
royal
me.
one. Exactly.
The material just
Yeah.
make it, even though it's not, it just looks
No,
like a
for
mid
sure.
to me.
Yeah. Totally agree.
So you did leave Zoomies, right? 100%. I don't think we got into that, but at some point you said, "Fuck Zoomies, I'm gonna go on my own way." Around what year was that? And like,
So it's been like a little over 2 years.
Oh,
Okay,
shit.
sick.
Yeah.
Damn, boy, you're killing it then.
Yeah, it's crazy to think like, damn, I haven't clocked in for 2 years. Especially like
now
I
you're
was
locked
hella
up and ready
dedicated
go.
to Zoomies. Like honestly, I was like, I'm ready to go. I was like thinking like I was gonna be there for life. Like it was cool. Like I got to meet a lot of cool people. Like
100K.
yeah, exactly. Going to like all the managers retreats and everything. Just like meeting all the pros and all the brand owners.
Mhm.
But like I always remember like being there in the crowd, like thinking like, damn, like I want to be that dude up there. Like telling these people like this is the brand I created or this is what I did. You know, just
Yeah.
being able to influence people.
Yeah.
And, like that shit every time. Like I would get chills sometimes being there. I'm like, man, this is cool. Like just being around these kind of people, I feel like pushed me. You know, for sure. Just seeing it.
So it's been 2 years now, right? And like now you go to all the conventions. You're basically like at every sneaker con. You're living in Utah, but you're driving to every state in in the U.S., bro. You're even going to Hawaii. You're going like literally everywhere, just because you're reselling shoes. And I know people are probably like, "Oh, the market's dead, whatever, whatever." But you're like living proof that this shit is possible in some way, shape, or form. I think a lot of people are gonna see what you're doing, and they're gonna like say, like that's easy or whatever. But they really don't realize like when you go to a sneaker con, you're there at 3 a.m. waiting in line just to get in, and then you're not into the sneaker con and gonna get your table set up until 10 a.m. You're there for 6 hours just waiting in line, bro. I don't think that's what people don't realize. So that's absolutely crazy for us to see you do that,
Yeah.
like us to see you a first person awake that day, like in a good mood all day,
I think the craziest part is that to think that you were handling, like, I know you have some help, but like you handle a lot of it on your own. And like we saw the crowds and how like they bunch up on you and you gotta hop from one person to another. I think it's dope to see you. Like you're an MC of sort, you control the crowd and shit.
Yeah, it's crazy. I feel like Zoomies definitely helped me out in that sense. Just like I was used to like, doubling, tripling up, talking to like 4 or 5 people at the same time, making sure everyone's good. So like, and I think a lot of people that sell shoes don't really have that same like retail experience maybe. So I feel like that's definitely like helped me out being at the sneaker cons and everything.
You will go to some people's tables and they're just mean.
Yeah, they just
You're
look
like,
at you,
yeah,
watch,
they're
and
like-
then they don't ask you
Yeah, they
anything.
don't even not one thing, but you go to Keegan's table and like, hi, how you doing?
I mean,
like,
I feel like it's like the same way, like it's in like embedded in you, like how it's in him, like where you said like the first, like whatever the list that they give you as Zoom.
yeah, like the 7 steps, bro.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, you gotta knock those out with
It's
everybody.
embedded in both your guys' brains.
Yeah, without even trying, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yo, even when I'm like on a date with the girl, I'm like, I'm hitting her with the 7 steps, dog. I'm trying to identify her needs and wants. I'm over here like giving her alternatives. Like shit, I don't fucking like rock, but hey, I've listened to rap, like. So yeah, bro.
That's so funny.
The 7 steps sticks with you, dog.
Yeah, for
If
real.
you stick
No, that
with
shit is clutch for sure. It's like, especially like after you teach so many people it, you're like, damn, shit works for real.
And you don't have to remember all of them.
No,
And
no.
they all coincide with each
It
other though.
goes in step,
Like it's a step. Like one step leads to the other step.
It's funny you say that too, because like I would have people that I would like interview. They wouldn't even get the job as Zoomies. I would interview them, and they would come back and be like, "Thanks for that interview. Now I can like talk to people. I'm taking this girl out to prom or whatever." I'm like, damn, what the hell? Like, it's just like simple people skills we would like teach in like interview just to like see how people would.
But I think
react.
it's also because you're getting kids at 16, bro. Like it sounds
Yeah.
crazy.
No,
No
for
Diddy,
sure.
no Diddy, yo. No Diddy. But you're getting kids at 16 in there that are like
Their brain is fresh.
they're literally, and you're the one molding their brain of like, bro, this is how you talk to people, this is how you sell, and then you know what I mean, like this.
It
how
was
you-
so cool to see. I loved being able to like watch these kids come in and like be super awkward, and then all of a sudden I'm like, damn, these kids are better at talking to people than I am. Like,
Yeah, they turn around like a complete like
Yeah,
150 of like, you
for
know,
sure.
like it's insane, bro. So yeah, like that's crazy. I don't know how I was taking this, but when we did go to Seattle, I guess it did push my mentality more because like I've already known you from events, just from like my first sneaker convention. I think I've told you this before, but like, bro, my first sneaker convention, it was like first day at school for me. You know, like I was waiting in that line, didn't know nobody, and you were in the front with like carts of shoes, like, you know. And I was like, I didn't know nobody or anything, whatever. And I just asked you because you seem so friendly. I was like, yo, bro, my first time being here. And I've seen you at other sneaker conventions. I was like, where should I set up? And you're like, set up next to me, bro. That's how you make the most money. And I was like, for sure, you know, like I took that advice like to heart. I was like, okay, I'm setting up next to Keegan. I remember you had your table against the wall right here. And I just set up in front of you, like across the hall from you, you know? So I was watching you the whole day, like what you were doing, and you were just greeting everybody and just like, you know, like letting them shop. So like I was like, okay, I do the same thing Keegan's doing, you know? And it helped out, bro. Like I had a really good event, like enough to want me to do another one, you know? So that was crazy. And like, I don't know what I would have done if you didn't give me that little advice of just set up next to me, bro. You know, it's not like you held my hand through the whole way, but you just told me like, set up and we'll be good, you know? So that was cool for me, and like that's how I like first met you, first experience I guess I had with you. And then now like, bro, we're kicking it all the time, you know? Like I see you damn near every weekend, you know? So
for real.
yeah.
That's tight. That's your like memory of me. I remember when you said that, I was like, that's tight. I didn't even think anything of it until like long term, like damn, that's sick.
Yeah, bro. You probably didn't even remember you said that, you know?
Yeah,
it's cool
for
though
sure.
too, because like if you were anybody else, I feel like, you know, a lot of people are dickheads. They've been like, nah, don't come here, like
Yeah.
somewhere else. or some shit.
Keep your shitty ass brand over there. You know?
Yeah. We're not the same, you know?
Yeah, type shit. But you were so welcoming, bro. And then like that was like, okay, cool. And like now when I'm at events, I want to be like you. I want to be that welcoming person, whether it be someone's first event or their 100th event. You know, like I want them to like realize like, damn, the hoodlum table, they're really nice. Anytime I walk by over there, you know. So like, yeah, and it was nice to set up next to you. Actually, like when we did go to Seattle, like that was a crazy experience. Just like driving with you in the morning to go to set up and like, you know what I mean, waiting in the line. That was a crazy experience. And then seeing you run the table, you know every price of every shoe, bro. Someone just lifts it up, $350. Lifts that one up, $180. Like no matter what shoe it is, bro, you know the price.
My guy's brain is a Google Sheets.
It's insane, bro.
I know my girl always tells me, she's like, you need to keep like more important shit in your head. So like I buy every shoe, so like I just like kind of remember it. And like I remember being at Zoomies, like I would do that same thing. You know, like people would ask the price, and I wouldn't have to look at the tag or look it up. I would just be like, it just made selling so much easier when you're knowledgeable, like on the product, the price. You don't have to be like, let me see what they're going. You know,
Yeah.
like. And there are times where I do have to do that. You know, I'm not perfect for sure. I appreciate you saying I have every single one, but
Every shoe I've seen, he's had it. You know? Like,
And
then-
you know where they're at. If it's like just one shoe, you know where the other pair is at. You're like quick on it. you
Yeah.
know?
yeah, that retail experience for sure. I just like brought it to like it's like a mobile store almost, you know. Like I just brought everything that I learned being at Zoomies for 11 years and
I
like
think-
brought it to shoes.
Zoomies gotta start like fucking making us sign NDAs. Like you can't use this fucking knowledge outside of our store, you know? Because like people
I
really.
mean, I bet there's other brands. Like I've seen other like retailers have like the 5 steps or what. Like so, I bet like
But it ain't the
there's
7.
there's I bet there's so many companies that teach like almost the same stuff, but just like different
Little bit,
verbiage,
yeah.
you know. So I don't think it's like necessarily like Zoomies like established, but
Mhm.
I feel like everyone should work in retail at least for a little bit.
Yeah, get that.
You know, get that experience, like whether like whatever it may be, like it definitely like I can talk to anybody. Like people
Yeah.
coming to Zoomies that were like just got out of jail 10 minutes ago when I worked at West Valley.
Yeah.
And then like people like that are from a completely different country that are like, I just looked this mall up. Is this the
Out
best
here?
mall out here? Like, you know, it was just like so many like different types of people, races, ages, everything. So like you kind of have to be able to communicate to
Diverse. Yeah.
everybody, and that I mean that helped me so much. So
That's fire.
Yeah.
So like after Zoomies, when was it the Kickstarter? Like, was it your first event? Where did it happen? Where you're like, okay, I need to make an Instagram. I need to set this up. I'm a brand now. How'd you come up with the name? Because ironically, every time I tell people your name, they think I'm like saying another shoe page.
That happens
name.
so much.
Look
People
up
are like,
another shoe and it'll come up.
Yeah.
You know.
people are always like, so like, what's it called? I know it's another shoe page, but like, what's it called?
That was my reaction when I first heard it. I had the homie like Mo. He's like, when you were vending at the event in the back, it's like, oh, another shoe page is gonna vend. I was like, give me some more here, bro. Another shoe page, bro. You know? What's going on here?
There's so many shoe pages.
Yeah, there's just another one.
It's just funny. I was just like, I kind of was like hesitant to start the Instagram. I was still at Zoomies when I started it though. I was really like, well, honestly, when I was there every day, I was like pushing my brand. That's probably like where the conflict came. But I was like, it was people that I talked to all the time. They were customers that I had been like helping for, some of them 10 years, literally. Like some of these kids I watched grow up and they were still shopping there.
Yeah.
It's like, of
Like,
course,
fuck these
like we're
Janowskis
already
come-
gonna like connect in that way. If I'm starting something else, I was gonna talk about it.
Yeah.
When I was like helping my homies promote their like skate brand, Natural Cause, I'm sure a bunch of people know me because of that as well. Like I was pushing that in the store all day too, and that was they didn't say anything about that, so I'm like, why can't I push my own brand?
Like I make money off this, bro.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I just remember thinking like, I'm probably getting annoying posting shoes on my personal page. Like I mostly was just posting like skateboarding stuff and just like random stuff on my personal. I didn't really like, and all of a sudden it's just like shoes all the time. And I know like not all of my friends are into shoes, so I was like, all right, I need to do something. This is not it. And so I was like, I couldn't think of like what to call it. I just know everyone's is like 801 shoes, this shoes, kicks, that.
Salt City Kicks.
Yeah.
Salt City sneakers.
Yeah, just whatever. I'm like, I was like trying to like think of like something that made sense, and I was just like, I'm just gonna put another shoe page. Just like there's so many of these people doing it. I'm just gonna be just another shoe page. Like fuck it. And I was like, maybe one day I'll change it. Like. I just didn't want to think too hard on it. It's like, I remember my girl and I started like a CBD company, and it was like weeks and weeks and like brainstorming this and this. And I'm like, this is like a lot. And like, I wanted to be just like perfect. And I was with this one, I was like, I'm just not going to like stress about it. And I like had that come in my mind one day. I was like, I'm just going to do another shoe page. And I looked it up. No one else had done that. I'm like, that's it. Like, well, if something else comes up one day and I want to change it or whatever, that but we'll just run with that. And then like I just got a lot of really good reactions about it. People were like, that's sick. I like that name. And so I was like, all right, I feel like we're just gonna rock with that now. It's definitely caught on. It's funny, like I'll be in like different states and I'll just like randomly hear like another shoe page. Like, I don't even know. I don't know you. But, like I'm pretty sure we've done business before, but like it was just like sometimes like random people, and I'm like, dang, okay.
Honestly, you're like a celebrity at these events.
Actually, for real, though, like,
people recognize you. Like
a lot of like
you were here last year.
know you. Yeah.
It's just like when you go to so many of them, like and you make like connections with all these people, like it's just cool. Like I have so many friends. Like I would genuinely call them friends that live in so many different states, and it's literally just because like. I met them at SneakerCon. Like we vended next to each other. We sold some shoes to each other. Just random little networks.
I think it's also because like you have the best prices I've seen all day. You know what I mean? Like when I pull up to your table, bro, you always have the best prices I've seen at any convention we're at.
Yeah, we try to keep it fair for sure.
My boy Luis got us, huh?
We're turning into an audio podcast.
An audio only.
No, but. Sorry, my bad.
No, you're good.
Damn.
Yeah, bro. No, you seriously do have like the best prices though. Like all the conventions.
That was hilarious because you just kept going by, and then he come back all happy. He's like, "I just went over."
It was just the best. There was like a couple people. Fucking this lady was like giving me like the funniest look. Like, who is this character? Like, and I was like trying to play it off like we didn't know each other. I was just like having a conversation.
And at some point I was like, "Who? Where are you from, bro?" So for the people that I guess in the dark right now, whenever we be having conventions together with Keegan, I'll just walk up by the table when there's a lot of people at the table, and I'll just yell as loud as I can. Damn, these are the best prices I've seen all day. Like once or twice, and then people will look at me like I'm crazy. But in their head, they're like, "Whoa, these actually probably are the best prices," you know? Like, so
Oh
yeah.
my God,
And what's
that's so
funny is
funny.
sometimes you won't even have the prices on the shoes. He's saying it, there's no prices on the shoes.
He's like, let me look real quick.
So yeah, that's how we get
That's
sales
the
for
homie.
Keegan. You know?
Yeah,
Yes,
for
sir. What was
we can't
your-
be telling
oh.
everyone our marketing techniques.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
bro. You just
Oh, it's
explained
okay,
it.
bro. It's all the MBG gang. The MBG gang
No
will
bitches.
never. Yeah,
Yeah,
Nobody
that's what
buys
our fans
garden.
are called. No bitches gang.
yeah.
Yeah.
Dang.
The MBG gang will
MBG
never reuse our marketing technique.
The seventh step.
This is the 8th step right here.
This is
The
the eighth
eighth step.
step.
The
We
one
have
they're
our
gonna
own.
tell you
The
about.
one that the Zoomies isn't gonna teach you.
You have to go say you got the best price.
That's how you do it. Just like I say, I have the best clothes. Keegan got the best prices.
That does make sense. So you gotta oversell yourself.
Yeah,
you know?
for real. What is the most money you've made on a shoe? Like whether it be multiple shoes or one shoe, like but what was like the most like damn bro, this is like
Like
bank.
Or are you sitting
like
on an
one
expensive-
deal or like a bread for.
Yeah, you can do either, you know? Or both, you can do both.
He's thinking astronomical numbers.
Yeah.
Right now.
I'm trying to think.
Like have you ever paid $20 for a shoe and then turned around and sold it for like 2,000, you know?
I
Or
wish.
something
I don't
that.
have any crazy flips like that. Everyone like hits like these Travis Scotts for retail and like sells them for $1,000. Like I'm the one
You're
that's
waiting
buying
on
them for
it.
$800 to sell them for $1,000. You know, like I don't know. I don't get lucky like that on crazy hype stuff. There's been like some good like. Sometimes I'll buy like 40 pairs of shoes at a time, you know, and make some like fairly cheap, and I'll make sometimes like $50 to $100 off each of those pairs.
Yeah.
But like as far as like making like $500 on a pair, like that's like pretty uncommon. I feel like people think that like
Their
I
first pair
like
of shoes.
get shoes for free or something.
Yeah.
I there's so many shoes that I sell I make $5 on. There's so many shoes I sell that I maybe lost $10 on, but I'm like, get this out of my face and I'm gonna buy something else that'll make me some money. you
Yeah.
know? I definitely like, especially the way the market's been. Like, there's times you'll pay $150 on a pair because they're going for $200, and then they re-release them, and now they're going for $80
Yeah,
or something,
it's
and now it's like I paid $150 for this shoe. Like,
You're in the red.
Yeah.
you know,
When I first started reselling, I was more of like the quantity over like profit type of guy. So I would always tell people like, bro, if you're only making $20 on a shoe, but you sell 20 of them, you know what I mean? Like, you're making bread right there. Like,
and that was my goal when I first started. I was like, okay, sick. Like, I sell sometimes 20 pairs of shoes a day at Zoomies, and I make like $1. You know,
Yeah.
that's like my commission is like sometimes zero.
Zoomies
You know what I
commission
mean?
is like if you make $100, you get 1% of that sale.
What
So-
the fuck? That's like
Yeah,
a penny.
and you gotta work.
It's $1.
You gotta
So,
work your
but then
ass
that dollar
off.
gets taxed.
Yeah,
So you get,
to
like,
63
literally-
cents.
Yeah,
You know,
whatever.
so you gotta work your
But
ass
if
off
you
to make
sell-
63 cents, bro.
If you sell $99.99,
You get
You
nothing.
get nothing.
No.
even if the sell like after tax is
It's
like 108
107,
or
yeah.
whatever, like you don't get anything. So
That's
you have to get at least $100 before you get any commission.
So that's why Zoomies, when you go to Zoomies, they ask you like, "Are you sure you don't want to get something else half off?" Because they're trying to build that sale.
Oh,
You know, that's one of the 7 steps is to build your sale.
So yeah, that was like, I'm like thinking like I sell shoes all day and I only get like $1. So when I make $20 on a pair, I'm like, fuck yeah, let's run this up. I was like, I sell 20 pairs in a week, $20 profit. That's $400. Like,
Yeah.
that's honestly not much less than I'm making at Zoomies right now, and I've been there for 10 years.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
so it's like okay, it was a numbers game.
Yeah.
Try to make that. As I
Literally.
said, I don't make a huge profit off every shoe. That's why you see I got good prices. I pay pretty well, and I just try to make a small margin. You know,
And keep it moving.
fast nickel over a slow dime.
Yeah.
You know,
I feel you.
just keep
That's
pushing
very
as fast as I can.
Okay, sick. What's the like most shoe you've like lost money on? Whether it be like you sold it too early and then now it's $1,000 shoe, or you just lost money just in general.
Yeah, that's probably like the worst though. Like you sell it and then it goes up.
Dude, that's happened to me with the pair of the first
So
Sakai Vapor Waffles that came out. You know what I'm talking about? The
Oh,
first
yeah.
ugly ass ones that came out. I fucking got those. I sold them like as soon as I got them because like you never know the market. It'd be crashing.
Oh, dude, it's so crazy. You never know what shoe will go up or what shoe is
And
going
that
to go
stupid
down.
ass Sakai went to 1,000, and I'm like, you motherfuckers. And I sold it for like 380. I paid like 260. I made like $80, and it was still $80, but I could have made like $800. You know, like
Yeah. I think so. There's two shoes that like really came to my mind. Military Black 4s. I bought like 80 pairs of those.
Oh shit.
God
And
damn.
I had so many of them. It was like most of my capital. So I was like, fuck, I'm just going to start selling them for a little like $10, $20 profits, even though I was like trying to hold that shoe because I knew that it was going to go up. I had like got scammed on a bundle that I had bought at that same time. So I was like, fuck, like I'm out. This money I got scammed on. Luckily, my bank ended up taking care of it and I got the money back. But it was like until they solved that, I was out money that I needed to like pay bills and
Yeah.
stuff. And so I'm like, fuck, started like selling these military 4s off. And literally like a month or two later, they were like
$700.
$100 more. I'm like, I knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was going to happen that quick. I was thinking like, oh, I can dump them and buy some more in at that price. And it just didn't work out that way, unfortunately.
Damn.
Sometimes it just, yeah. Luckily, I was able to still buy in a couple pairs and like make it work. But yeah, when shoes get that expensive, sometimes it's hard.
It's not even worth
just
it.
like
Yeah.
it just makes it really hard to sell. People don't want to pay that high.
Yeah.
You have to pay high, and then you're like, yeah.
I paid this much.
Spend
bro.
$400 to make $20. It just doesn't really make
Doesn't make
sense
sense.
unless
You're
you're balling.
That wasn't the biggest L you took though, right? Like you took a fatter L than that.
Oh, I've taken a couple pretty big L's, unfortunately.
The one I'm like digging for is like the convention you said that you had in Atlanta. I think.
Oh yeah, chargebacks. Definitely be careful using credit cards for sure. I had a couple different people make transactions, and it added up to like $7,000 that they charged back.
Damn.
And the way Square does it is they'll pull it out of your account as well. So they pulled $7,000 out of my bank account that I didn't have. I don't have $7 just chilling in my checking. So my account's like way in the negative, and then the money never hit the Square account because they were like
They
charging it back.
Yeah.
And some of it had been from like, so it was like 3 or 4 charges from Atlanta. And then I was in Vegas like a few months earlier for an event. And someone charged back from that event like 3 days after the Atlanta thing. So it was like all right at once. And I had done like hundreds of transactions through Square without any chargebacks or any issues or anything. So I was like, I was checking people's IDs, making sure everything's good, but Square definitely is like on the buyer side. So like no matter what, I was just out that money. And like some of them were like consignment pairs, so not only did I like lose the money, I still had to pay the people out that because I was selling the pair for them. So yeah, it was.
And then you told me around that time that was like you had just made your biggest investment, right?
I mean,
One of your biggest investments.
Definitely.
For
I
your
just bought the
business.
van. So like I literally bought the van. I drove to Minneapolis and then I drove to Atlanta. Or actually, I drove to LA first, and then it was like a few weeks later that we went to Minneapolis and then to Atlanta. So I hadn't even had it for a month yet.
Damn.
I had just invested in buying that van that I've been saving up for, and and then I took that loss all at the same time. It was
that's
when
probably
when it comes crashing down. Yeah, it's everything happens. It comes in threes. I feel like.
that's what I hear. That all bad things come in threes.
Yeah.
But like that's one of the things though. You didn't let it like fucking affect you. You know what I mean? You just kept it moving. Bro.
Yeah,
you
for
said
sure.
fuck it. We're just gonna keep it going.
That honestly wasn't even the biggest loss I've taken. Right when I got into reselling, so right when I left Zoomies, same month I left Zoomies, I was doing consignment with the shop, and they
got broken into.
Yeah, you already know.
I think we know who you're talking about.
So I was owed $14,000 for consignment.
Oh damn!
And apparently the store got broken into, and I was gonna eventually get my payout, but homie just like bailed on it. I ended up getting like $4,000 of it back, but yeah, I was still out $10K. And it happened to be right when I left Zoomies. I also rent out a duplex, and my tenants were supposed to be like signing a lease to stay there for another year, and like randomly were like, we actually found a house we're gonna buy. So I was like, hell yeah, congrats, like that's sick for you. But like,
fuck,
just like really bad timing.
Yeah.
Like I no longer have the rental income, no longer have the job income, and big part of my investment, was gone.
Yeah.
So it was just like make or break it time. I was like, either I'm gonna go find another job, or I'm gonna commit. I'm gonna do this full time. And I mean, we're here. Haven't clocked into any other jobs since the last 2 years.
That's fire.
There's definitely been a lot of times where struggled to make ends meet. I'm like, dang, I bought way too many shoes this week, and I thought would sell faster. And
Yeah, maybe you wanted to clock in that week.
No, there's definitely some times where you have that thought of like, dang, it was a little easier to know, like, every other Friday I got this much money coming,
Mm-hmm.
where it's like, this is like, there's no PTO.
Yeah.
You either like, I have to work to make money. Like, there's no really other options,
I was thinking about it though, but it's like very risk reward, where it's like at the end of the day, after the stress and you're like balls in your stomach, you're like fuck, like it was worth it.
Oh yeah, 100%. There's so many times where I'm like,
that was
damn.
impossible.
Yeah, balls in your stomach is possible. I wasn't saying nothing, yo. That was crazy.
It's like,
I was good over a little bit.
I'm sorry.
That's so funny. I know what you mean though. It is way more rewarding doing this for myself. That's like something I would tell myself all the time. Like, if I could work that hard for another company, like this shit's easy.
Yeah.
Like I have to work that hard for myself. It's way more rewarding. It's crazy. I remember like that kind of reminds me of we were talking about like Zoomies and the events and stuff. So last year when I went to Hawaii, it happened to be the same exact time that I would have been going to Manager's Retreat with Zoomies.
Oh, damn.
And my connecting flight was in Seattle, which is where they go.
Where they do it, yeah.
And so when I get to the airport, the DM, she's the DM at the time. It was the lady that I said was the assistant manager.
Oh, Cassidy?
Okay.
Yeah.
I hate her.
Oh my god.
I hate you, Cassidy. If you're watching this, I do not like you.
That's
Okay, keep going. Sorry.
No, she's cool. She's the reason I fucking worked there. She was always.
She's the reason I got fired. So we got two completely different stories.
But she happened to be there, so we're on the same plane, and I get to Seattle, and like all the other managers that I know are there, and they're like, "Are you back with Zoomies?" And I'm like, "Hell no! Like I'm going to Hawaii." Like it was just super cool to like think like, damn, I used to be going and doing the same thing
With you guys. Yeah.
every year with these people, and they're like continuing to do that. And I'm going to Hawaii for the first time to go sell some shoes and like chill with my girl.
Yeah.
It was super like, I don't know, just mind blowing or like opening. I'm like, damn, okay, we're doing something right. I'm not doing that same shit that I was doing for the last 6-7 years.
I always say that, bro, and I always say that to my homies and everything. It's like, I don't want to wake up every day and look at the same ceiling fan. You know what I mean? Like, bro, I want to fucking work hard and grind every day to fucking look at something different. You know?
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Warehouse moving, fucking packaging.
Bro, like, it's like you kind of have to do that, like you did it until where you said, fuck it, I'm not doing it anymore. And I feel like a lot of people don't realize though, like if you believe in yourself, you're gonna be able to do whatever you want.
Literally. There's so many things that I did in the last 2 years that wouldn't have been possible if I was working on 9 to 5. Like I always had to ask for permission,
Yeah.
Now it's like you still have to balance like the risk and reward, and like I said, if you don't work, you don't get paid. So like I can't just go fuck off and do whatever and still like be where I'm at.
Yeah.
But like there's a lot of things that I was able to do last year. Like I was on the road for 5 weeks selling shoes, living in the van with my girl and my dog. Like I wouldn't have been able to leave Zoomies for 5 weeks. You
would have not had a job when you
came back. Exactly. So it's just like super cool. And I'm like, all right, we're gonna we went to like 30-something states last year. Like I've almost been to every state, and like before that I'd been to like very few. I'd been working so much. I was in the store 50-60 hours a week, like worked my ass off.
You couldn't even take your girl on a date, I'm guessing.
I mean, we went out and stuff, but yeah, I was busy, especially when I was selling shoes and working at Zoomies, because like I was like, it was almost like having two full-time jobs.
Yeah.
Like I was literally committed to both. And I was like, had to make both things work, and yeah, it was. Shout out to her. She definitely holds it down. Yeah, for real.
I think that's cool too. I think like we talk about it all the time as creators and people doing this stuff. Like having a relationship with someone is always the hardest because you need someone that's gonna understand like the traveling, the risk and reward, or because it's like if someone's like, "Why are you doing that?" You're not benefiting off of it at the moment. You know, when in the long run you're like, "Just wait." You know, like
Yeah, no, for sure. She definitely sees the vision. She's like been. She's down in the trenches with me. You know, she'll come and do the events. Working her ass off the whole time, like it's
That's
cool.
fire, bro.
It's definitely wouldn't be possible if I didn't have her for sure.
I think that's another thing too. Like when it's a one man band, you know, like and you probably started off as the one man band, like it's still fucking, it's hard as fuck. And then like you got fucking over 100 shoes, you know. I bet at events now it's easier to have at least 2 homies help you out, where it's like now you gotta worry about 50 shoes instead of, you know, fucking 150 or something.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's been way cool having like the team come out. You know, I've had a lot of homies that'll come. They push their brand. Everyone's out there. We're all like hustlers trying to make money. You know, just push our brand. Like it's super cool. It's like a dope little dynamic. Like being in Seattle was so sick. It's
it
like,
was fun.
you know, you had your brand out. You had your brand out. Mo had his brand out. Homies Sean and Rudy pushing, like it was just cool dynamic. We had the homies Johnny and Nolan come out and help. Like it was just like
it was cool to meet Johnny too for the first time ever, and like you know, like it was cool to meet everyone. It was a good trip.
It was a dope experience for sure.
I think it was also cool to go eat with each other and go like you know see Seattle together and stuff. Like it just kind of made us bond a little more. And then when we did hit the convention, we were like, all right, team. You know what I mean? Like,
for sure. Yeah, it was sick. Even though it was literally, like you said, we were up 3 a.m, waiting in line. There's grown men throwing fits and shit.
Yeah.
It's just like,
I was here first. I know I was over here. Like,
it was just, it's always an experience just to like battle to get the right spot, and you know.
Yeah.
Does it feel good to have a team now, like when we go with you, compared to like just your girl and you? Maybe it's a little bit different, but like there's a lot more moving parts. Like I feel like we had it down, so it's like we already know what's up. Yeah. Like she'll go park the car and I'll go wait in the line, or well, you know, we figured it out. But having more people to help, like it's crazy when I think I'm like, damn, we used to do all of this by yourself,
just us. Like this is crazy. Yeah. Especially like sometimes we set up 300 pairs of shoes at an event. Put all the prices on them, make sure it's organized all nice, like set up the back so you can find the shoes when people are wanting to buy. Like it's, you literally got to set up your, like I said, set up a store for the day.
Oh, for sure.
Something I didn't realize was that the back, before like I had my table next to Keegan, I didn't realize like, dude, he has to put all these shoes somewhere, you know, like, and it's like, bro, he has like a whole wall of shoes back here, and like you gotta be careful, like even touching one, because all of them might fall, you know. Like, yeah. So, but it makes sense why you get the wall tables now.
Yeah, you got to be there first. Got to get that good spot. Got to be against the wall. So yeah.
So you can put your pairs up against the wall. Oh, it always made sense to me.
And we'll like even stack it in the boxes and stuff as much as you can. But it's like.
Yeah, I did see that you tilted the boxes sideways and like had them stacked in there.
Try to make it, you know, organized and easy to find. It's the worst thing when someone's like, "Yeah, I want to buy the shoe," you can't find it.
They're like,
like, there's definitely times where I've missed out on sales because people are like, "I'll be right back." And never come back, you know. Like, have that shoe for 6 more months. Like I just have to have nightmares of like that interaction, like not being able to find it. Like,
it was right there.
He finds it real quick at the end of the event. He's like, God damn it, this is where it was. Yeah, it's cool. And then like leaving so you set up a bunch of pairs when you get there. Selling stuff is hard just to find the boxes and know the prices of everything. And you have a bunch of people at your table, like 20 people, 15 people, even 30 people at a time, you know. And then leaving the events is not only also was hard, you know, because you have to put every single pair that did not sell back into the box. Then you got to put those boxes back into the big Home Depot boxes that you're shipping them in your car with, right? But not only that, Keegan takes it a step further where he sells pairs for other people, you know, or he'll bring pairs for other people to sell at the convention. So I'm over here trying to put these pairs in boxes like, oh, no, that's not me, that's someone else. And then I'm like, then we have all these like different piles of different shoes, right? So it's a lot, like you said, a lot of moving parts alone, let alone having to worry about everyone else's brand. You know,
Yeah.
it's like it's a lot of people, bro, and a lot of things going on. I never really understood. You're the first person at the event, and you're always the last one to leave. You know, like you're always that's
Yep.
how you are, bro. You're the
Yep.
first one there and the last one to leave.
Take advantage. I spent money to be there. I'm there to build my brand. I'm not gonna like.
I think that was my favorite thing
Leave
Rudy
early.
said last at Seattle. He was like, "Yeah, we spent money to be here, bro. Like, act like it. You know, you gotta make some money. Cause like obviously, like I'm very timid or whatever when it comes to selling and shit. And so he was like, "Yeah, bro. He's like, you wanted to be here, so fucking let's make some money." And I was like, "Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
what-
fucking
you know?
right, bro."
Like I've always kind of had that mentality. Like even with school, like I had to be there, so I was gonna do it well. You
Yeah.
know? I got
You had
4.0s
to.
in high school. Like people think that I was just like some punk kid or whatever, but like
That's fire.
I wasn't necessarily like taking my shit like super crazy serious, but like
Making sure you
I
pass
just
it.
made sure like I passed. I had to be there. My grandparents were like super strict. If I got called that I was tardy for class or missed the class, like I was getting grounded for sure. Like even till like right when I was a senior, like they were, on top of it. If I was late, I was in trouble. Like if I had a B minus, like I was a B plus, like what are you doing? Like
That's
Yeah.
good though, 'cause,
You
like,
know?
now you hold yourself to those standards, and
yeah, for
you're
sure.
fucking, it shows in your business and your work ethic and the way you sell and everything.
I appreciate that for
Yes,
sure.
sir,
I
man.
just kind of like I said, it got to be there, so I might as well fucking do it well. Like why am I gonna be there half-assed and shit? Like
Yeah.
that's I kind of try to treat everything like that.
No, for sure. I think the first time I met you was at it was like the second or third sneaker convention at the Sandy Expo Center when you had like the whole corner right next to
That
the
was the
food
second
court.
one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the first time I met
Or
you.
no, it was the third one, right? Where you had the food court table.
The third technically. It was the second one that was at the Sandy one.
Okay, yeah.
So
And so that was like my first time meeting you, and I was like, I saw a bunch of like the influx, and your table was obviously bigger than like everybody else's. I feel like your setup and everything. I always like the way you stack them like steps in the sense where like you look at one and then you look at another, and then it's like very eye catching, like other from others where it's just like stacked on the table. It just looks like a mess. At the Capitol at the fashion show, we saw like certain resale brands, and they just had like one shoe on the box. How was it?
They didn't have shoes on the box.
Yeah,
they had the
just
boxes on the table.
Yeah, and they're like,
Are
"Yeah,
you
we're
selling the
reselling."
boxes, guy? Or are you selling the shoes? You know, like, what are you
Yeah.
selling here?
yeah,
But-
for sure.
And then like now going closer with you, because like now you guys moved into the store. You've moved in first, and fucking established yourself. And then you're like, yo, I got these other homies. They got vintage. And then obviously, you guys are fucking rocking the boat for real, making the store work. I just think it's crazy to see like the amount of growth. What do you like, how do you feel like now that you're in the store and everything, just seeing customers walk in actually and walk out, like how does that make you feel like as a business owner, I guess? Because like from events, being at a table, it's a quick like hi and bye, but now you're like having people who already would buy constantly from you, but now they're coming to your store to come check you out, they don't even hit you up anymore, they're like, oh, I know he's there type shit, like.
It's cool. That's always kind of been like the goal. Even when I was like leaving Zoomies, like I want a store. I just had. We explained some of the losses I took. Like we're just trying to make it work as we can and get there. And like this kind of just like fell into place perfectly. Like I've known Mo for a really long time. We both worked at Zoomies. Like he came in all the time. We would chop it up. We'd be at events, like he would be selling iDream, I'd be selling Natural Cause. Like we just kind of been in that same like group. We'd always go to all the local concerts and just like support the homies and stuff. Like
Fire.
I feel like we just like always seen each other like that. So it was just cool where I saw that he was doing an event, that little pop up, and I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna see if I can go.
Oh yeah.
Sell some shoes there, and just like
Yeah.
I didn't know if they were charging. I would have paid the fee or whatever. He was like, "No, you're good. Nothing. Like pull up." It's like I already told some people that we're full, but I got you. I'm like, hell yeah, that's love. Like
Yeah.
it was sick. And I pulled up and sold like 10 pairs, and then so like I was like, let's make something happen. Like, let's put some shoes in the shop. Like we kind of
Yeah.
chopped it up and kind of like went to the back burner, and then just randomly he hit me up and was like, let's fucking do it. Like it was like right before Small Business Saturday.
Oh,
You
yeah.
came in and brought all your stuff, and I set up the wall, and I was like, this is tight. And I was just kind of gonna leave it there, and then yeah, just like evolved into so much more now. It's really
Yeah.
cool.
The
Like, all the
store's going
homies
crazy.
in there.
I think like to be a little more transparent, like the OM store was like doing all right, but like realistically, like was there a lot of foot traffic like there is now? No, because like but like you guys brought that like fuck, I need to go to this store. And everybody,
It's a one-stop shop.
yeah,
now.
literally everybody now it benefited from it. Cause
Yeah, it's so
just
sick.
putting sneakers in there, and that's one thing that Mo told me at first. Like, I don't want my store to be a resale store. And you're not gonna have a store unless it's a resale store, you know. So like, then when that happened, it was like 100, you know, like 100%. It just fucking boosted everything, all the sales. Like I said, everybody benefited from it at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And like, it's cool to go in there now, and like, you guys are there, you know. It's probably cool for you instead of meeting someone at the, you know, fucking McDonald's that's in the corner, you know. Now you're meeting.
I used to meet at the Smiths all the time. People say, like, joke all the time, like, no more meeting you at the Smiths. Like,
yeah, bro.
Like, I would just always meet at the Smiths, like, right over there, you know, by my girl's house. But yeah, having a store is cool. Like, I definitely have enjoyed, like, it's made it like more work and less work at the like same time. It's kind of like just having more moving parts again.
Yeah.
Now like I have to have like the store inventory and the inventory that I have, and then I gotta make sure, you know.
If you're consigning anywhere.
Yeah, it's just it's just always more, you know, always constantly evolve. Yeah, exactly. But it is nice. Like I feel like a lot more people will just bring pairs in that I can buy. It's made that so I don't have to like search for pairs as much.
Mm-hmm.
Like people will just bring stuff in, and I'm
Sick.
like, all right, yeah, let's run it. Let's do this.
What's the address of the store if anyone wants to pull up?
1592 South State Street. Pull up, baby.
Sorry, I thought you were gonna blink on it.
Nah, I got that down.
Oh yeah, yo! If you guys want to pull up on Keegan, he got all his sneakers there. If you guys need any shoes, hit up Keegan. He has the shoe page. A lot of the stuff, bro, that I need always gets it for me. You know, so like whatever you guys need from Keegan, he got it. It's awesome, bro. It's awesome to see your journey, like where you've come from to like, you know, even hearing like I didn't know like a lot of the stuff you told us, you know. So
yeah, I feel like I don't know. I don't talk about it a lot. I don't want to like I don't know. I feel like bragging when I talk about myself a lot. So like this is like a different dynamic for me for sure. I don't really like get on camera or like talk about. I don't know. I try to just be positive and like influence people and like just kind of like stay out the way, you know.
Yeah.
Do my thing.
Just
put my head down. Yeah. So I don't know. I'd take those L's and like my close people around me, I'll like tell so they can, you know,
learn from them.
Yeah. There's that. But other than that, I don't want to like. I feel like bringing stuff like that up like constantly, it just like puts you back into that like mindset or that mood, and I'm just like, yeah, fuck it. Charge to the game, you know. Move on to the next one. Sometimes like, especially now, I'm like better about that. But like when I first lost, like I never lost $10,000 before. Like I was like, what the fuck? Like, are you serious? I still gotta pay all this. Like. I was like, I thought I had it made, you know. I was like, I was about to have $10,000 coming to me. I was gonna pay this off. I was gonna invest in that. I was gonna keep doing. Just like your plan doesn't always go exactly how you want it, but I feel like it'll like prepare you for all the other shit. You know, if I didn't have all those things happen now, I don't know if I would be where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
Even though like then I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna recover from that.
Uh-huh.
You know,
and even then, like I don't want people to think like now it's just all smooth sailing.
My boy still
make it or break it.
Yeah, my bills are not paid this month. I'm like, I need some shoes. Hit me up, please. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
we're going to Seattle, bro. We're pinching pennies, you know. Like we are not. We're like people see that. Like people do see us go to Seattle and they see us like, bro, we are not rich, yo.
No.
Yeah, by any fucking stretch of the word. We're just
I didn't buy any personals out there.
Nothing. I didn't buy nothing in Seattle.
Cheap.
But food, I was trying to find us the cheapest food. I was trying, bro. I was trying to.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said earlier, I make like $5 on shoes a lot of the time. I'm spending a lot more money than I'm making.
Bro, like that trip, you probably just came back even. You didn't make any money, you didn't lose any money, but you were there. You
got my brand out there. I paid all the consigners off. I bought some more inventory so I can keep it pushing. And I'm back to square one pretty much. Yeah.
And then my boy, like 2 weeks later, was in LA for Gasol. You know, like it's like
yeah, that was fun. Randomly, Mo was like, because we talked about doing LA, and then everyone's like, couldn't make it happen. And then Mo was like, I have to go to LA on this day already. Like, you should have done Got Soul. I was like, you still can.
Yeah.
I was like, pretty sure. Like,
what's the price of a Got Soul table compared to a Utah sneaker convention table compared to a sneaker con table?
Yeah.
So Got Soul and SneakerCon are like pretty similar.
Mm-hmm.
But so SneakerCon, they don't do like you buy a wall table or you just buy a table first come first serve. Got Soul, you can buy wall tables and like the whatever, just like the inner tables. I don't know what they call it. They just call it a table, I think.
Yeah.
Whatever. I've only done one gospel, and it was like close to $300 for the table,
Damn.
which is the same as SneakerCon, and I didn't even get a wall table.
And for people that don't
wall
know,
tables
how
are
big is
sold
this
out.
table?
Not even like
8 feet,
Smaller.
8 feet by 3.
A little bit bigger than the what we're sitting on, right?
Sometimes 6 foot by 3. Yeah.
And you have to fit a bunch of shoes on there, right? So you're buying. So I've seen 2-3 tables at an event. So you're spending $900 just to be there,
yeah.
right?
Yep.
And
With
that's
no
then,
fucking-
yeah,
with
then,
no
like,
gas, with nothing. That's
Think if
just
I
to
am
be
making
there.
$5 on a shoe,
You
how
gotta-
many shoes
you
do I
gotta
have to
sell.
sell to make $900?
Yeah.
And that's if you sell at that event. you know?
Exactly.
So like yeah, it's a scary thing to even go to an event. Like even for me, it's like you know when I'm trying to go to an event, I'm like
This is what my mindset is with it all the time, because I would always like. There's times where I'd go to an event, like you said, break even or maybe even lose money
money,
technically, but I'm going out there to build my brand.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, I'm in a city or a state maybe that I've never been, and there's people that know about another shoe page in Texas or Minneapolis or Atlanta or wherever the hell that I'm at. So it's like you're paying essentially to get
Marketing,
your brand out
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
That's a
The
good
worst case scenario. Sometimes you go out there and you'll make some money,
Yeah.
Sometimes you break even, sometimes you lose money, but worst case scenario, you paid to get your brand out there.
Yeah. That's what Guba tells me all the time. Like, bro, fuck the money, just come and make 20 followers, 30 followers, and you'll be
You
chilling.
never know. Yeah. There's so many of those events that I met one person that followed me that still buys from me now.
I think it's cool to
You know?
see at the store, like seeing the people that do come back often to you, and they just chop it up with you, like if they like known you forever type shit. And I think that's a good relationship to have, because it's like those are returning customers, like you said, and you have that more personal experience where it's not just on a website or just like a quick. You're the owner of your shoe page, or whatever, and so it's like people walk into resale stores, they don't even know who, it's just a worker, it's just a person, so it's like. You're always like, oh yeah, like you ask someone about their day, and like even if it's just like the selling point, at the same time they're getting that interaction with you.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, a lot of my clients are like my homies. Like, whether they were my homies before they were my clients, or they were my clients before they were my homies, like I have a lot of really good relationships with people that buy shoes from me or sell shoes to me, vice versa.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that I buy and sell from all the time that that they're just like my homies now.
That's
It's
something-
really, really cool.
That's something I want with my brand too. Like whenever like you buy a hoodlum piece, like I want someone to like feel like they can fucking hit me up for like whatever they need, bro. Even
Yeah,
if they
for
just need
sure.
someone to talk to. Like I really want like to build that kind of a community
That's
where
cool,
like,
yeah.
or if you see someone wearing a hoodlum piece, like damn, I could go talk to these people.
Yeah.
They're cool. Like
For sure.
yeah, that's something I really want to build, and I think you have built that because everyone that comes into the store is cool as hell.
Yeah.
I've never met someone that come into the store. I'm like, oh, that guy's kind of a dick. Like
no, for sure.
Yeah.
I definitely, like I said, I got a lot of cool people in my life. It's super cool, and like a lot of it, whether I met them at Zoomies or I met them because of shoes, like a lot of them are because of skateboarding, or it's just like a lot of those cultures kind of go together. And I feel like a lot of those people get along really well.
I was gonna
It's,
say
like,
that's why the store also works very well, because like without shoes, like it can't happen. I feel like, so it's like you come here for shoes, and then you're like, damn, I need some pants to go with this, or I need something to go with my shoes now. So it's like, it's all the clothes is there, and like people come for the shoes and end up leaving with fucking clothes.
they'll see the Gooba Mob shirt that matches with these Jordans, and they're like, "Fuck, let me get this."
Yeah, no, it's tight. It's really cool. I feel like there's not a lot of shops like that. It's like very different. Like there are sneaker stores, there are vintage
Yeah, but they're all
stores.
selling Supreme, Palace, all that. But you guys are also selling that, and then you're also selling all these local shit.
Yeah,
like,
it is local, yeah.
Yeah, like
It's a collective
Yeah.
more than like a resale.
like you
or
go
a-
to the local, sneaker store in the Aura Mall, and all they're selling is like fucking, Chrome Hearts and Supreme and like shit like that. And it's like
for sure.
And you have,
It's
like, a
really
good
cool to
variation.
see we need you need all of those things. That's kind of what brings people in. But it's really cool to see how well like the local brands do as well.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the like younger like local brands are like way more hungry. So like they do make some like really dope shit. It's like a lot of the up and coming rappers. I feel like when they're like not signed and stuff, like they put out like so much heat, and then it's like once they're like signed, like it's like kind of like it's still good, but it's just like damn, I miss that old like fire you had. So I feel like I like to support those young up and coming dudes, because like I feel like they're like really putting that effort into it. Where like you're saying like Supreme and stuff, where it's like they're just gonna buy something else that someone else has and put Supreme on it, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's also like you said, seeing the smaller brands do good and being hungry. It's also like there's such an influx, like you said, of reselling sneakers. There's such an influx of clothing brands and influx of like rappers and everything that you definitely have to step out or be better in some way. Where it's like, how are you a better sneaker seller than somebody else when everyone might have the same? They might have the same lineup of fucking sneakers. Yeah,
exact same. We're all selling the same shit for the most part. You know?
yeah, and so it's like, how do you stand out? How do you? So it's definitely sick because, like you said, you've made your name like stand out, and you in other states you can come back and people will recognize you and come up to you, talk it up with you. So it's like it's so dope because you're not just another shoe page. You feel me?
Yeah,
like
for sure. It does work like that. It's really cool. It's sick.
Yeah.
It's funny because like people will come up literally and be like, "Where's the dog at? Is the dog here?" Like that's why we were like, you know what, we got to do the mascot as.
And so how did that come to happen too? Like Keto becoming your mascot, or
my girl and I just like always talked about doing like graphics like with her on it or doing some like making her, because everybody just like we'll bring her to the events and people are just hyped on her, so we're like, yeah, we're gonna.
That's cool at the sneaker events where you're dog friendly.
I feel like at first people were like hesitant, but then they'll like just see how good of a dog she is,
And
they're like, okay, she's good. But now I feel like it's like became like a thing. Like there's so many dogs at the events now, it's crazy.
And it's also like the culture of like bullies and like Frenchies and all that. It also kind of connects with the shoe culture, and so like now you also see like they're bringing out bullies.
Yeah, it's so nuts. People are selling shoes and dogs at the same table, or just walking around in cars.
Have you had anyone say like, "I'll trade you this dog for a pair of shoes, bro"?
We've had a couple people. For sure, yeah.
What's the weirdest thing you've ever got asked to trade for shoes?
Weirdest thing. I don't know. I feel like there's so many kids that'll just be doing like the trade up challenge. They're like, I have a penny. Do you have any shoes? I'm like, yeah.
What do you have to say to somebody doing that?
I'm just like, good luck, bud. Like, I respect the hustle, but I can't help you out. Yeah. I got a sticker for you, son. Like, if there's like, sometimes people like, I have this like hat. I'm like, if I have something like a hat or something, like, yeah, I'll work with you, but.
Yeah.
I don't know. That one's kind of hard. If it was like something, there's a couple trades that I've done to help people out like that are like close. Yeah. But yeah, I'm not gonna take a penny for a shoe. You know,
But like maybe you're losing $10 on your trade.
Yeah, for sure. Hook the homies up.
Yeah.
But that's cool.
But if you're losing like 150.
I don't know about that.
I have those kids. We have those kids come up to me, you know, like I'll trade you this. Like, bro, you don't want my brand, bro. I don't think it'll help you trade to anything, bro.
Well, we blew off a guy at Seattle that was trying to trade a Baypex, like a Rolex or whatever. Yeah, and so I was like, oh, we could have traded our clothes low key for that Babe Rolex, and we just like we're like, nah, we're good. We like blew him off. Not only that too, he had a whole fucking YouTube. He's got like 43K subs.
Yeah, hella subs.
And so he like Mexican YouTuber, and we're just like, no, and he like just leaves.
Yeah, that's our whole interaction in the video. They kept it in, like, oh no, and they're like, that's it.
Put it in the video.
Yeah. And he goes, bro, we fucked up. And I was like, no.
We could have promoted our brand and shit.
Now you know, bro.
What's your favorite place you've gone to for like an event? Just, you know, to sell at?
Excuse me. I feel like I have to say Hawaii. Like, it was just like, I'd never been there before. I shipped 120 pairs out to like a client. I'd never met this client before.
Damn,
but we had done a lot of business. Like, they're good people. You can tell the vibe of people. I feel like I felt safe sending.
It's funny, don't trust people on the internet back in the day.
Yeah.
Because like I sent 120 pairs to a guy I never met on the internet.
Yeah, it's crazy. It sounds crazy for sure. So yeah, I shipped them to their like business that they own, and I got my rental van, picked them up. I even told them, I was like, I'll give you $100, or I'll get you into Sneaker Con, or like I'll give you a pair of shoes. Like, I just wanted to like, they're helping me out, like doing a huge favor for me, realistically. And so like when I pulled up, I had 100 in my hand, and she's like, no. Like, she wouldn't take it.
Fire.
And like, she's just like solid client for sure. It was literally met because of Instagram. Like, someone in Hawaii, literally, we had been doing business for a while.
808 kicks, huh?
Yeah.
808_kicks.
No, she's just like a personal buyer, not even like a reseller or anything.
Yeah. Well, I got a question. Hawaii Sneaker Con. Is there like people flying out just from all over like the U.S. and everything, like vacation and coming to the sneaker con and like check it out there, or is it actual local? Is it more local than?
I would
bunch
say
of
it was more
Hawaiians.
local. Like there
Was it?
wasn't a lot of vendors.
Okay.
Like not a lot of people flew out there. I mean, shipping costs and like it's a lot
It's
of
a lot, yeah.
logistics. It's expensive. I had the same mindset. Like I said, worst case scenario, I go to Hawaii for the first time I've ever been there,
fun.
and I build my brand. You know,
Yeah.
have a vacation, go somewhere I've never been, and yeah, I mean, shipped 120 pairs out there, and I came back with like 40.
Wow.
So it was
Yeah.
more worth it than I thought.
Yeah,
Like,
it's a good thing.
like you said, the good prices. Like when I went out there, like prices are even more out there. Like you got to pay all the shipping. There's not as many options.
Yeah.
Like, it's just harder for shoes out there. So like people were eating it up.
And
And
It's
also,
crazy.
like, you got to realize Hawaii's on an island, like literally
That's
a
what I was-
rock in the middle of the ocean. So getting shoes out there is harder. Jordan is not sending that many shoes to Hawaii. You
That's
know?
why I was asking, because I was like, I'm not sure if it was like definitely for the locals or it's like a resort vacation event.
Like I'm sure there were people that were out there on vacation and were like, sick, SneakerCon's out there. But I don't think a bunch of people were
Flew
like,
out there just.
I'm gonna go to Hawaii sneaker. Like there probably were some people that were like, we already wanted to go to Hawaii or like
Mhm.
you know.
And
But
then just
I
ask.
think a lot of people it just kind of happened to be like, oh dang, they're doing SneakerCon
Fuck
and
it,
we're
we'll
out
go.
here.
Yeah,
But
that's
like
cool then.
most of it was locals.
Damn,
Realistically,
that's
it was cool. It was a
Fire
cool
as fuck.
event. I've enjoyed a lot of other places, but yeah, that one was just somewhere I didn't think I would be, and it was just like tropical. First place there,
That's fire.
first time there.
What was like the sell experience? Like talking to the locals and like it was easy, simple.
It was easy. People were paying really well.
Just whatever
They keep
Hold
saying,
on.
shoot, bruh.
Yeah. It was sick. I asked some people out there if they knew any like local groups, like Facebook groups or anything. So I got in those Facebook groups and just like made a post like, I'm in here. I'm here for the week. I'll be buying, selling, and just like
Sick.
try to network. You know,
Yeah,
like
fire.
everything. Like, I'm already out there. How can I make it like the most
Yeah.
beneficial as possible? So I asked the local groups and put my name out there, and people had found me from the groups and were like locking in deals before SneakerCon.
Oh,
Oh,
sick.
damn.
So like I had pairs set aside, and people were coming in like, I just got here. Where are you at?
Oh,
like
dope. Hell yeah.
like I had a few pairs that were already sold. I bought some pairs out there.
Oh, it stopped?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
But continue if you could.
So you bought some pairs out there?
Yeah, I met a couple people and I had bought like 4 pairs from some dude out there, and I only went home with one of those pairs. So like I sold a majority of the pairs that I bought out there before I went home.
That's fire. I mean, I guess we can kind of go towards the end now. We like to ask our guests like what's some good free game or like some advice you could give someone either starting up a resale business, a brand, or an entrepreneur just wanting to get into like, because you definitely have to learn social media. You have to learn all that. Obviously, you know how to use fucking Sheets, Google Sheets, and it's probably not that hard, but like you taught yourself how to make it all work super easy. So it's like, what's some advice that you could give somebody?
I feel like the biggest thing is like whatever you're wanting to do, just like fucking do it. I feel like so many people, I have people all the time asking like, how'd you get into reselling? Or like, what do you think the best shoe is? And like, they want to know like everything before they get into it. I'm not saying like just jump into shit like blindly, but like if you know you want to do something, just fucking do it. Like you got to learn somehow. The best way to learn is like by doing it, not just like use YouTube for sure. Like YouTube College, there's so much stuff that I learned online, but like the biggest thing is like you gotta just like put yourself out there and do it. It's like sounds like kind of cliche, but like it's literally so many people ask me advice all the time. Like when should I do this or how should I do this? Or
Yeah.
bro, just like you don't save up $1,000 and then do it. Like just buy a shoe. If you have $50, go find a shoe for $50 that you think you can make $20 on. Like
If Nike
it's
just
better to
dropped-
start now instead of in 2 weeks. Like you're gonna learn more in those 2 weeks or 2 months or whatever. Like I don't know. I wish I would have started earlier. It's like I feel like a lot of people probably have that same mindset of like, dang, if I would have started this earlier, I would have
Yeah.
already been this far or whatever. So I just feel like just start, put your head down, commit. There's always gonna be ups and downs for sure.
So like what I've learned is basically through whatever trials, tribulations you've had, you've kept a positive mental attitude and you've done what you wanted to do, no matter if fucking you lost $14,000, you're like, fuck, I'm gonna keep doing this. Like for you, it was basically there's no going back. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. This is it. You know, that's what I guess I've learned from talking
Yeah.
to you.
For sure. I mean, it's been fun, and I feel like I don't know. I hear from other entrepreneurs and big people that they all take losses. Like a loss is part of business. Realistically, no matter what business you're in, like there's people who say like on my way to my first 100,000, I lost 10K. So I'm like, okay, sick. And maybe I'm heading somewhere.
He's on his
good.
way to his first 100,000.
After the 100K, he was like, "Oh, hey, I heard someone made 100K.
We're still not there, but hey,
Hey, that's
let's
good
make it
mindset,
happen.
though.
You know, like I don't know. You never know.
Yeah, Omar always tells me too. If it's like how you said, you just got to go into it without knowing. He's like, if you knew everything, like if you did know all the losses and everything as well, like you might be afraid to even jump.
That's a
into
good point.
it.
I've never even thought
Yeah,
about
you
it
never
like
even
that.
do it.
But like realistically, if you would have told me I would have lost $14,000
You would
a
have said,
year
fuck
into
that.
stuff, work my 9 to 5, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
You're like, I don't even have 14,000 right now. How am I gonna lose
yeah,
it? You know?
exactly. Yeah.
But that's
No,
like the
for
same
sure.
thing. Like if a fucking someone's gonna read you your future and tell you your future shit, you don't want that.
Oh
'Cause
yeah.
what did they tell
No,
you at
for
27?
sure.
You're dead. You're
Yeah.
like, fuck.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
25 right now.
for
You
sure.
know, like
That reminds me too. I heard like I've been saying this a lot to people lately because I heard that like the Steve Jobs interview and he says something about like connecting the dots backwards. He's like, you can't connect the dots forward. Like you don't know what this that we're doing right now is going to lead to.
Oh,
But like in 10 years, this might lead to, God knows what,
Yeah.
it could be anything. So like I think back on little stuff like that and there's just like so many little seeds that were planted like along the way. Like Rudy and I hired Rudy at Zoomies. He was like restoring shoes. I was into shoes. We talked about like doing a store 10 years ago almost. And now it's like, and that was just like, it was just like kind of like an idea, it's just kind of like, we already do this. Like,
yeah.
so it's just like kind of crazy. Like those little like
connections.
connections. Yeah. Like even with my girl, like I never would have thought like she wanted to get some shoes and stuff. Like I got her a pair and she like wanted to get more and she like got really into it. And I'm like, damn, we might be able to make some shake with this. Like I feel like if she wouldn't have wanted to get shoes and like it pushed me to like, oh damn, I could flip this and then we could get more shoes. And I don't know. There's just like random little things that I feel like you never know what's gonna happen from what you're doing right now. So just like put your head down.
Oh yeah, bro. Well, I think that was a good Kobe episode right there, bro.
Kobe, baby.
The Kobe episode of Pod. Thank you for being on episode 24, bro. We
Yes,
appreciate you so
sir.
much. Even just taking time to drive down here an hour, we appreciate that, bro. And just sitting here for another hour, like thank you so much for taking time out of your day. You could have sold 20 shoes in this time, but you chose to sit here with us. You know?
Yeah, that's fucking true. We do say that sitting here, time is money. So I mean, fucking thank you, bro, for coming on. We're super thankful. I think like it's dope to see the experience as well because we're on the clothing brand side, you're in the resale side. It's cool to like see where we're like same and different, but also like what we could do, like what I could do in a sense from what you're doing, like to benefit myself too. Like it's been a learning curve for sure to be around all you guys.
Hell yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah,
And like I said before, anyone needs shoes, hit up the boy Keegan. He can get you anything you want, even if it's something that's not currently on his page. He'll source it for you. He's really good at it. He's very well connected. So yeah, definitely hit up Keegan.
Yes,
buy,
sir.
sell, trade all the time. Come by the shop. If you have any questions, hit me up on Instagram.
Yes, sir. We'll have all the ads and everything in the link below to his Instagram.
Yeah, we'll have everything. We'll even pop it up on the screen and everything. So we appreciate you guys for watching episode 24. We fucking love you guys. It's a little bit longer of an episode for you guys, but we needed to give our boy all the time possible, But we love you guys. Thanks for coming through. Peace.
Peace.